Hi guys, and welcome to another Divi Theme video. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Well, yesterday we showed you how to do this button over image. It's going to slide in from the left there. We had a question, somebody dropped in a little question under one of the videos asking you to do it with text. Really easy, similar sort of thing, but they wanted the text to come up from the bottom there. Again, this is really easy. We've got to write one tiny bit of code for this today, but it's really easy, so don't let that put you off. So let's get started. I'm going to enable the Visual Builder so we can build on the front end. Okay, let's go down. I've got a section here, the blue tab. Inside the section I've got a row, the green tab, and a module. Now this will work with any module you want to slide up on top of it. The way this works, if you've seen my hover videos before, is we've got a row here with two columns in it. The image that you see there is actually residing in the column, and the writing that slides up is a call to action module that we're bringing up when we hover over it. And like I say, that'll work with any module. It doesn't have to be a call to action module. You can use whatever you want. But they ask for text slide up over image, so that's what we're doing. Okay, so let's choose the module that we actually want to slide up. I'm going to use a call to action for mine today. I'm not even going to put a button in there. I'm just going to leave it exactly like it is. Not going to change the text or anything there. Obviously, put in whatever text you want there. If you do want a button, simply put a link in here and the button will show up. And you can write what your button wants to say in the text tab at the top. Only thing I'm going to do there is just make that background black, and I'm going to take some of the opacity down so that when we put the image behind it we can see what we're doing. Okay, well, we've got our little call to action there, and this is what we want. We want an image here, and when we hover over the image we want this call to action to sort of slide up from the bottom. So let's put the image we want to see initially in here, and like I say, this resides in the column. So go into the row, green tab, column 1 there, column 2 right here, so we're working on column 2. I'm going to go in and we'll choose the image we want to put in the background there. You've got color, gradient, image, video, background pattern, or background mask. I'm going to go ahead and put a background image in. Let's pop that one in. As you can see, because we put an opaque background in our module there, that's got that image there. But I want this image to be a certain height at all times, like this one. I made this one 300, so I'll make this 300 also. So we're still in our column within our row. Let's go over to the advanced now. Going to go down to custom CSS, and this is where we have to write our tiny bit of code, and it's only one line. And all we're going to write is height, colon, 300 pixels, or px. And as you can see, that's now 300 pixels tall, and you can see it spilling out of the bottom of our call to action there. Great, so what we want to do is center our call to action, make sure it's covering the whole thing, and then we can make our movement happen. Now, as we're pushing this down out of the way, we need to hide any overflow. Overflow is anything that spills out of our column here. To do that, let's close out the custom CSS. Going to go down to visibility. We're still in our column of our row here. On the advanced tab, go down to visibility, and we're going to hide horizontal and vertical overflow. I know we're scrolling vertically, but if we don't hide the horizontal also, we'll end up getting a little slide bar on one of the sides here, which we don't want. Okay, so we're good to go with our row right there, or our column I should say. So let's save the column. We'll save the row. Now let's go and adjust our little module that we want to slide up here. So I'm going to click on the module, we'll go in there. First thing we want to do is make sure it's going to cover top and bottom. So let's add a bit of padding top and bottom. We'll go over to design, down to spacing. Let's try putting 70 pixels on the top. Yeah, it could go down a little bit more, maybe 80. That's good. We've still got a bit of a gap at the bottom, so let's put 80 on the bottom as well. You can either type in a value or just hit the chain to put the same value in the bottom there. Yeah, that's covered that fine. Great. Okay, so what we actually want here is to push this thing down out of the way, and when we hover on it, we're going to bring it back up so we can read it. So common to most Divi modules, if you hover over the dark writing here, you'll find some icons appear. If there's an arrow, we can set what's called a desktop state when the mouse is not on it, and a hover state, obviously, when the mouse is on it. So when the mouse is not on it, we don't want to see any of the writing. We want to push it down out of the way down here. Now I know this is 300 tall because that's what we gave the column. So if I add 300 to this, that should take care of it. I want to uncheck that little chain though, because I don't really want to add 300 to the bottom. Won't make much difference in this case, but don't really need any more on the bottom. So if I put 300 in front of there, so it's 380, it disappears down the bottom. Great. Then when we hover over it, we want to bring it back. So let's put our 80 back in there. We'll hit the chain. And it's come back. So we've got that when we hover on it, and that when we don't. And the time it takes to go from desktop to hover by default with Divi is 300 milliseconds, which is pretty quick. I'd like to slow it down for a bit of grace and drama, and to do that, let's go to our advanced here, and we'll go down to transitions. Here's our 300 default. I'll slide mine up to maybe half a second, 3/4 of a second, whatever you decide you want yours. Don't want any delay, want it to happen as soon as they put their mouse on it. Ease will work. I'm going to flip mine to ease in, ease out. That's what I tend to use for my hover effect. These are all work. They're all subtly different, so check them out, but that's the one I'm going to go for today. Great. Let's save this. Now our image is really dull there because our call to action module has got a dark background. So let's actually go back in there and take that background away when we're not hovering over it. So we can go to our content, down at the bottom, here's our background. Okay, and again, if we hover over the dark writing, we've got our icons. We want to bring up a little arrow for the desktop and hover state. For the desktop, I want it completely see-through, transparent. That's fine. And then when we hover over it, I want to dark down that background so we can read that writing a bit more. So let's put a black back in there. I want it quite as dark as that. If you want yours as dark as that, just leave it like that. If not, click on the color field here, bring the opacity, slide it down until you can read enough of the writing but still see a bit of the picture behind. That works for me. So we've got that when we're not hovering over, and that when we're hovering over. The other alternative is if you don't want to use, I just make this transparent as well. If you don't want to use an actual overlay there like we're doing, you can merge a color with the image to make it more legible when you put the writing on top. If you wanted to do that, let's go back in here. Let's go back into our column, which is in the row. Column number 2. In the background, we put an image in, but we can also put a color or a gradient in. So for instance, if I put a purple color in here, or whatever color you want, we can go back to our image. We can then blend it using background image blend. Now this will only be there if you're not using parallax, so if you've got that switched on, this won't be there. So make sure parallax is off, and then you can blend it with the background. And you've got multiply, which sort of makes it purpley like that. You've got all kind of different effects, hue and exclusion. You can get some really interesting things going on. Luminosity with the images using this. I'm just going to use multiply. If I save that now, save the row, we go back in here and I set the hover state. You'll see that writing's a lot more legible because we've just merged that color. But I like the actual background mask effect or the overlay effect. So I'm going to put this color back in here. I'm not going to bother to take that color away in the column there. I just wanted to show you that as an example. So something like that. Even there it darkens it down considerably. So we should be good to go. Let's save our changes here. We'll save the page changes down at the bottom, little purple button. Save draft or publish your page if you're ready. And let's exit the Visual Builder. And there we have it. There's our initial image. When I hover over, our text is going to take 3/4 of a second to slide up there. And it's going to darken out that image. So there you go. I hope that answers your question. There's how to have a text slide up on hover. So I hope you've enjoyed this today and found it useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, ring the bell, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Once again, this has been Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.